In this bite-sized video, we're going to take a really quick look at how to use simple animations in your PowerPoint presentations. At this point, I think I should say that animations is something we advise that you use with caution, making considerations around the options that you choose and whether or not they may be distracting to your audience. Today, we're going to look at how to use some very simple animations to reveal your bullet points on your PowerPoint slides one by one. I've created a very simple slide here with a heading, a picture, and 5 bullet points. When I present this slide currently, it appears exactly as we see in the preview, with the heading, the picture, and the 5 bullet points. When I deliver this presentation, I would like for my bullet points to appear one by one. The reason for this is I don't want my audience to be reading ahead. I want them to be concentrating on the point that I'm addressing one by one. So in order to do this, I'm going to use a very simple animation. To access the animation settings in PowerPoint, we're going to go right up to the top menu above the ribbon, and right in the middle of that menu, all those menu options, there's an animation setting. I'm going to click on that, and I can see here I've got a number of different options that appear. I want to apply animations to my bullet points. So I'm going to select the bullet points and taking care to select the box rather than any of the text within it. So in order to do that, I'm going to move my cursor to the edge of the box until it changes. See my cursor change to this pointer arrow with the 4 directional arrows behind it. And I'm going to select the box. That means I've selected the box that contains all of my bullet points rather than just a single bullet point or a number of my bullet points. And you'll see that these options, having selected something on my slide, I see that these options become available to me, and I have a number of different options for animations and things that I might want to make my text do. If I expand this option, you'll see that the animations are split into 3 different categories. One is entrance, so this is about making things appear on screen. One is exit, and this is about making things disappear from view on screen. And one is emphasis, so this is to make a certain part of my slide move or display a certain behavior to kind of draw attention to it. We're going to be working with these entrance animations, which are highlighted in green, and I simply want to make my bullet points appear. So I'm just going to use the most simple of the entrance animations, which is appear. So I'm going to click on that from this list, and you'll see now next to my bullet points, each one of them has a number in a red box. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And this essentially is showing me in which order my bullet points are going to appear. You'll notice up here on the right hand side of the menu ribbon, the animation menu ribbon, there are some settings. So I've got the start setting, which is by default set to on click. So it essentially means that my animations are going to play when I click either the mouse or a key, or if I'm using a clicker to deliver my presentation, the clicker button. So what does this look like now when I play my PowerPoint slideshow? So I'm going to click here to play my slideshow from the current slide, and you'll see that my animation now, or my slide, sorry, now displays without any of the bullet points. So I can see at the moment only my heading and my picture. Now, as I click through, and I'm going to use the cursor keys to do this, you could use the space bar or the mouse, or indeed a clicker. As I click, my bullet points appear one by one up until point 5. And if I use the cursor key and go back the other way, I can make them disappear again. And this is a really good device, or a really good approach to use to keep people on point, to prevent your audience from reading ahead. And we would recommend that you reveal your bullet points one by one. So it's as simple as that, using animations to reveal your bullet points. I'm just going to show you one more thing you can do. I'm going to come out of my presentation mode and back into editing my slides, and I'm going to have a look at these animations in a bit more detail. What I might want to do is have the first bullet point display as soon as I play the slide. So rather than having to click to bring my first bullet point up, because when I transition to this slide, the first thing I'm going to do is address bullet point number 1 in the delivery of my presentation. So I want it there on the screen immediately, rather than having to click and display it like this. What I'm going to do now, again within this animation menu from the ribbon up here on the right hand half of the menu, I have what's called the animation pane. If I click on that, I can look a little bit closer at some of my animations. So I have a single animation up here, and I can expand the contents of, so it's an animation set, so that contains the information on all 5 of the individual animations for my bullet points here. If I expand it, I can see here I have the animations for each of my points. If I select the top one there, and so that is the animation assigned to bullet point 1, from here, from this little drop down menu on the right hand side, I can simply come down here and remove that animation, and you'll see that animation number 1 has disappeared, and in fact it's relabeled the remaining 4 animations as 1 to 4. So that means there's no longer an animation associated with bullet point 1. So when I now preview my slideshow, I'll see that my slide appears as I want it to, with bullet point number 1 already available. I would address that bullet point, and now as I click forward to move on to bullet point number 2, bullet point 2 would appear, and so on and so forth. So this is a really simple way you can use simple animations in PowerPoint to enhance your presentation delivery.